Okay, we are back today with my 3S lithium-ion battery pack. This is from 3 salvaged generic Sony NP-BX1s. It does have a 3S lithium-ion charger in it, and as you can see, we also have a buck converter here for 5 volts out, and there is an LED in there because there's no switch. So if there's room, I think I'm going to try and add a switch in there. So we're just going to do some maintenance on this pack. I also want to put a little dot of hot glue there just to seal it up and also let the LED light shine through for charging. And I'm also going to add this 3S BMS, which is finally turned up. So it's going to protect the pack from overcharging, overdischarge, and balancing of cells. So we'll look at how I do that. So first, we have to pull this apart and see and remember what I have in here. Okay, here's the pack. It's quite neat, actually. I think these Wago connectors are taking up a bit too much space. I'm not going to have enough room for the BMS. We'll pull the battery out and see what we can do. Maybe I'm going to have to even take this out and put it externally. I don't know. I'll take the battery out and see how we go. Okay, so I've pulled all the tape around the batteries so they're exposed and I can access the terminals. I'm just trying to lay this out now how I like it to have the BMS bit. I think what we're going to do is do something like this. Yeah, maybe I won't have the 5 volt pack. I'm just using it as a 12 volt pack. Anyway, I'm talking to myself. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll just have it as a 12 volt pack because it's not going to fit everything. All right, I'll start getting ready to solder the stuff on. Okay, it's not the best, not the worst. So what we do here, the end of this series connected pack, this hooks up to the 12.6 volt up here. And the junction between these two cells goes to 8.4. And the junction between these two cells goes to 4.2. And then the negative goes to this one here. So I think I can just hook up these two directly, and at the very end, this becomes our main positive and negative. And for these two junction points, they can just go on any of these terminals. So I'll do that, and we'll come back after I've finished. Alright, we've all finished. So there's the negative to the BMS, positive to the BMS, the end of the cells, and then the ones in between, respectively there. And the final outputs where we connect everything on these two fly leads. So we'll check the voltage of this pack. There and there, we are at 8.55 volts. So it does need a charge. So what I'm going to do is put it back into the case and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, just before I close up, I realized I had a battery monitor which works with lithium-ion, lithium-ion phosphate, and lead-acid batteries. And it's configurable, but it was really hard to find documentation. But I'll leave the link in the video description to this product and the documentation so you can set it yourself if you want to get one of these. One thing I like about it, well, the main thing is because it's pre-wired and it's got its own power button, so you don't have to hook up your own switch. So turn it on, push it once, hold it in to set the battery type. So the first LED's switching through all the types, changes color. Red is lithium-ion, so we'll lock that in by holding the button. And then we need to go to the second LED. As you can see here, these 4 LEDs will kind of cycle through stuff, configurations, and on my matrix, the second LED indicates a 3S pack. So we leave it like that, and there we go. It says 80%. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but it might be. Anyway, I'll continue closing up, and we'll go from there. All right, we're done. I've even put a little bit of hot glue in there to seal up that hole and just dissipate the light better. I could probably get a replacement cover or get a new Jiffy box and just put a new case on it, because there's space now to actually didn't have to cut this bit out anymore. But that's fine. It's DIY. It works. And now we just have to charge it back up. See, look at that. You can actually see the light really well. And that's going to go to full because it's getting power. But when this finishes, it will go blue. And that is how I added a BMS to my 3S lithium-ion battery pack, which was made up by 3 generic Sony NP-BX1 batteries, giving a total of 12.6 volts max, 1240 milliamp hours, giving you 13.5 watt hours. We just have the single jack out, DC plug out, and no longer have the buck converter because this is just powering a set of 12 volt LED lights for my cupboard. There we have it. Charging is finished. The blue light is on. And just to double check that it really was fully charged, 12.3 volts. There's my pack connected to it. We're all done. Awesome.